Mahārāja ki jai. Nitila Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashvatara Shatashmar Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Trivikram Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Nitila Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashvatara Shatashmar Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Svāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Nitila Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashvatara Shatashmar Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Param Gurudeva ki jai. Tatiya Shubha Avirbhav Titi Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Tatiya Vyas Puja Titi ki jai. Nitil Pavishtam Vishnupad Ashvatara Shatashmad Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada ki jai. Nitil Pavishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Goksharas Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Nitil Pavishta Śrīla Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai. Nitil Pavishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Śrīla Jagannath Das Babaji Mahārāja ki jai. Shri Rupa Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadash Raghunath Shri Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. Namachay Shri Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Kshetra Mandal Gaur Mandal Braja Mandal Mathura Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sarva Vishwabharata Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Shri Radha Kund Shama Kund ki jai. Shri Yamuna Devi Ganga Devi ki jai. Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai. Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Dandavat Pranam. So today we want to get through many different articles. This is 19, just getting this set up. Let's see how much we can get through. There's so many things to read today. So it's really difficult to choose what to read and what not to read. But we'll just, even if we finish everything, maybe we can even read more. Because that was one thing, I didn't find anything about something by my Param Gurudev. We just have things about him. Okay. So I'm first reading from this book, Kriti Ratna. It was published a couple years ago during Kartik time for my Param Gurudev's 50th Disappearance Day. And it is an amazing book, one of my favorite GVP publications. You can purchase, if you want to purchase it, you can get it on bhaktistore.com. Otherwise, you can download the PDF on purebhakti.com for free. Also, you can get the ebook. Oh, no, the ebook's not available yet. Okay, so we're beginning with words of tribute from disciples of Śrīmad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Prabhupada. So these are all my Param Gurudev's god brothers. Okay. Oh, and I'm just going to Danda Pranams Indira. So yeah, today's going to be a bit of a long reading. So feel free to leave whenever you want. I'm going to go way past 8 o'clock probably. Okay. I'm just setting up my second screen so that I can see your comments. There. All right, now it's set up. Okay, so first we're reading Glorifications by Śrīla Prabhupada, Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Swāmī Mahārāja Prabhupada. And so this is in the second edition of, oh wait, it has an introduction here. So sometime after the disappearance of Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada in 1936, the weekly periodical periodical Gauḍīya and other publications he established discontinued. In 1949, Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja re-established Gauḍīya, now as a monthly periodical under the name Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā. And he sent the first issue to all those sheltered at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada. After receiving it, Sri Abhayacharana, later known as Srila Bhaktivedānta Svāmī Mahārāja, he wrote Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja a letter expressing his appreciation. The editors of Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā presented it, along with the appreciations of others, in the magazine's second issue, naming the column Some Opinions on Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā. So, some opinions on Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā by the Reverend Sri Abhayacharana, editor of Bhakta Godhead magazine. That's how it appeared in the book. Pujapad Keshav Maharaj, please accept my prostrated obeisances. Yesterday, I became extremely pleased to receive the Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā you sent me. Although the patrika, the magazine, is of medium size, its cover is beautiful, and its paper and printing are also good. Very few printing mistakes are seen and can be considered negligible, or almost nil. By this, it seems that the magazine has been perfectly supervised. Your comprehensive and extensive preaching efforts always attract my heart. That you always think of me befits the high benevolence continuing from your previous ashram as a brahmachari. Because before Param Gurudev, he would go to Srila Prabhupada's house. I am so unfortunate, however, that I am unable to render any service to you. Therefore, out of the goodness of your heart, please forgive my offenses and shortcomings. You very much encouraged me when I first printed my Back to Godhead magazine. Even though you were extremely busy, you blessed me with your foot dust by visiting me in my deplorable condition as a householder. We are wholly indebted to you for having inspired us to remember Shripad Naraharita in the very first article of your Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā. The affectionate, caring, and sweet behavior of Shripad Naraharita will remain forever illuminated in my heart. The pangs of separation from him are in no way any less than the pangs of separation from Srila Prabhupada. The articles in Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā are placed in proper order. You have done well by starting with an article on Srila Baldev Vijabhushan. Publishing the life sketch of our previous acharyas one by one in the magazine will be extremely beneficial for our sampradaya. I saw a proposal that your magazine also presents articles in other languages besides Bengali. By the order of Srila Prabhupada, I started Back to Godhead magazine to put forward discussions in the English language. When you print articles in your magazine in English, please bless me by accepting a little service from me. I have written many articles and essays in English, and I can send them at your convenience. Sri Abhayacharana, 6 number Sita Kanta Banerjee Lane, Atakola, Kolkata, 27 March 1947. So this was published in the second issue of Gauḍīya-patrikā. And now next we'll read Srila Prabhupada's condolence speech, an unedited transcription. This was in Seattle, Washington, 21 October, 1968. One has to accept the renounced order from another person who is in the renounced order. So I never thought that I shall accept this renounced order of life. In my family life, when I was in the midst of my wife and children, sometimes I was dreaming, my spiritual master, that he's calling me and that I was following him. When my dream was over, I was thinking. I was a little horrified. Oh, Guru Maharaj wants me to become a sannyasi. How can I accept sannyas? At that time, I was feeling not very satisfaction that I have to give up my family and have to become a mendicant. At that time, it was a horrible feeling. Sometimes I was thinking, no, I cannot take sannyas. But again, I saw the same dream. So in this way, I was fortunate. My Guru Maharaj, Prabhupada begins to cry, choked voice. He pulled me out from this material life. I have not lost anything. He was so kind upon me. I have gained. I left 3 children, and now I've got 300 children. So I'm not a loser. This is a material conception. We think that we shall be a loser by accepting Krishna. Nobody is loser. I say from my practical experience, I was thinking, how can I accept this renounced order of life? I cannot accept so much trouble. But I retired from my family life. I was sitting alone in Vrindavan writing books. So this, my god brother, he insisted me, Bhaktivedānta Prabhu. This title was given in my family life. It was offered to me by the Vaishna society. So he insisted me. Not he insisted me. Practically, my spiritual master insisted me through him that you accept, because without accepting the renounced order of life, nobody can become a preacher. So he wanted me to become a preacher. So he forced me through this god brother, you accept. So unwillingly, I accepted. And then I remembered that he wanted me to go to the Western country. So I am feeling now very much obliged to this god brother, that he carried out the wish of my spiritual master and forced me to accept this sannyas order. So this god brother, His Holiness Keśava Maharaj, is no more. He has entered Krishna's abode, so I wish to pass a resolution of bereavement and send them. And I have composed one verse also in this connection in Sanskrit. So you all present, you sign this. I shall send it tomorrow. This verse I have composed, it is in Sanskrit. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam. This Krishna consciousness is Vairagya Vidya. Vairagya Vidya means to become detestful to this material world. That is called Vairagya Vidya. And that is possible simply by this Bhakti Yoga. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam. Apayayam Mam. So this, just like medicine. The child is afraid of taking medicine. That also I've experienced. In my childhood, when I became ill, I was very stubborn. I won't accept any medicine. So my mother used to force the medicine within my mouth with a spoon. I was so obstinate. So anyway, similarly, I did not want to accept the sannyas order, but this god brother forced me. You must. Apayayan mam, he forcefully made me drink this medicine. Anabhipsu andham. Why I was unwilling? Anabhipsu means unwilling. Andham. Andham means one who is blind, who cannot see his future. The spiritual life is the brightest future, but the materialists cannot see to it. You see? But the Vaishnavas, the spiritual master, they forcefully, you drink this medicine. You see, apayayan man anabhipsu andham. Shri Keśava Bhakti Prajñāna Nama. So this is my god brother. His name is Keśava, Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava, Kripam Buddhi. So he did this favor upon me because he was an ocean of mercy. So we offer our obeisances to Vaishna. Kripam Buddhi. Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha. The Vaishnavas, the representatives of the Lord, they are so kind. They bring the ocean of mercy for distributing to the suffering humanity. Kripam buddhir yas tam aham prapadye. So I'm offering my respectful obeisances unto His Holiness, because He forcefully made me adopt this sannyas order. So He is no more in this world. He's entered Krishna's abode. So I'm offering my respectful obeisances along with my disciples. On the first day of my sannyas, I never thought, but I remembered that I'll have to speak in English. So I remember on that sannyas day when there is a reception. So I spoke in English. So it was all the arrangement of Krishna, a higher authority. We are writing like this. Resolved that we are the undersigned members of the devotees of International Society of Krishna Consciousness Incorporated, in a condolence meeting under the presidency of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedānta Swāmī, today, 21st of October 1968, at our Seattle branch, express our profound bereavement on hearing the passing of His Divine Grace Om Vishpad Shri Śrīmad Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja, the Sannyas Guru, preceptor of our spiritual master. And on October 6, 1968, at the headquarter residence in Navadvip, West Bengal, we offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Śrīmad B.P. Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja, with the following verse composed on this occasion by our spiritual master. This verse I have already explained to you, so I wish that you all sign this, and I'll send it tomorrow by airmail. Have you got a pencil? Girl, yes. And then the sound of Srila Prabhupada signing in the hint. Published by Bhaktivedānta Book Trust International. And so now let's read that letter of condolence. Shri Guru Garango Jayata, Seattle, Washington, USA, 22 October 1968. I offer my humble prostrated obeisance at the lotus feet of all the Vaishnavas. Shripad Trivikram Maharaj. Yesterday I was heartbroken to receive your letter dated 12th October. How did Pujapad Maharaj disappear so suddenly? I want to know. I have had a long-standing intimate relationship with Srila Keśava Maharaj. When I used to visit Sri Damayapur, Shripad Narahari Dada and Shripad Vinod Dada were very affectionate to me, and I loved them so much. At around the same time in Kolkata, I was very close with the senior Tirtha Maharaj, Professor Nishikanta Sanyal, and Vasudev Prabhu. Later on, I used to visit frequently with Shripad Sridhar Maharaj, as if we were the closest of family members. Except for Shripad Sridhar Maharaj, all of the above mentions have gradually disappeared. Our time is also imminent. The longer we have the opportunity to serve Srila Prabhupada, the better. I have a very close connection with the Gauḍīya-patrikā Samiti. You, and particularly Shripad Vaman Maharaj, are well aware of the fact that I was one of the Samiti's 3 founders. What did he say? We? Yeah. We conceived the idea of forming Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā Samiti at Bosepara Lane, Kolkata, even before Srila Maharaj accepted sannyas. Within a few days of forming the Samiti, Sri Nartamananda Brahmachari, presently Chudandi Swami Sri Śrīmad Bhakti Kamal Madhusudan Maharaj, separated himself from the Samiti, and Shripad Vaman Maharaj, who was then a Brahmachari, visited our home at Sita Kanta Banerjee Lane to make me the chief editor of the Bengali magazine Shri Gauḍīya-patrikā. Carrying the order of Srila Maharaj on my head, I began to regularly write articles for the Gauḍīya-patrikā. Srila Maharaj greatly appreciated whatever I wrote. Thereafter, I was also appointed the chief editor of the Hindi magazine Gauḍīya-patrikā, wherein many of my articles were published. Later, I could not submit articles due to lack of time. Now I've become a resident of foreign lands and have to travel 20,000 miles every year. The greatest compassion of Śrīla Keśava Mahārāja was to make me a sannyasi. I had vowed that I would never accept sannyas, but Śrīla Mahārāja gave it to me by force. He would certainly have been most delighted to see the success of my preaching today. Last year, I visited him in Kolkata, along with my disciples. And though he was bedridden, he was very pleased to receive us. I have complete confidence that both in his manifest presence and after his disappearance, he is very pleased to see my widespread preaching of the message of Śrīmad Mahaprabhu in Western countries like America, Canada, England, Germany, and Hawaii, Honolulu, which is situated in the Pacific Ocean, as well as in Eastern countries like Japan, Tokyo, and so on. I was a staunch Griha-medi, family man. From time to time, Srila Prabhupada used to come to me in dreams and call me to renounce family life and come along with him. The dreams would frighten me and make me think that I had to accept sannyas. I had not the slightest desire to take sannyas, but on the repeated insistence of Sripad Nārāyaṇa Mahārāja, Śrīla Keśava Mahārāja bestowed boundless mercy upon this unwilling and blind person by forcibly giving me the renounced order. It seems that this desire of Srila Prabhupada's was transmitted into his heart, and it was in this way that my sannyas was accomplished. Wow, so Srila Prabhupada himself is saying this, because my Gurudev used to say this, but we see Srila Prabhupada also is saying this, that on the repeated insistence of Sripad Nārāyaṇa Mahārāja. I am eternally indebted to Śrīla Keśava Mahārāja. Therefore, immediately after receiving your letter, I organized a Viraha Sabha, a festival of separation at the Seattle Temple to honor his disappearance. I am sending the condolence resolution of the meeting, along with this letter. Kindly accept it as our humble offering of love and respect, our Shraddhanjali. In my other centers, the list is enclosed, particularly London, Hamburg, Germany, and Honolulu, Hawaii. I have given the instructions to arrange a Viraha Sabha in all these different places. You will be glad to know that the American youths and young married couples have formed 3 Sankirtan parties under my guidance. One such party is currently traveling to all cities in America, and I also am with this party. The second party of 6 devotees is performing kirtan at different places in London. The Indians living there are amazed to see them. Those Indians have given up their homeland and have come all the way to the Western world to become big sahibs. What's sahib? There's one aspiring to be like a Westerner. But the Americans are performing Harinam Sankirtan. Somehow, the preaching work is progressing beautifully. I am interested to know what kind of constitution you are forming. You will receive my full support in this regard, as I am a man of constructive ideas. I do not favor destructive policies. There's a footnote that says whenever words come in quotations like that, that means that it was written in English. Because this letter is written in Bengali, but anything in quotations is English. It was the desire of Srila Prabhupada and Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur that Americans perform kirtan at Sri Dham Mayapur, and that opportunity has now come. Unfortunately, there are those persons who are in fact intruding on Mayapur by considering it to be their personal property. These days, others are restricted from visiting that place. Śrīla Keśava Mahārāja used to deal with these guru tyagis, these persons who give up their guru, and guru bhogis, those who enjoy the property of their guru, with sword in hand. Last year, He mentions that he would arrange 5 acres of land for me in Sri Mayapur. You were present at that time. If you help me in this matter, I intend to make an ashram in Mayapur. American boys and girls can visit and stay there and receive proper training. If we establish cooperation and work together, the task of preaching can be splendidly conducted. Therefore, I am eager to know of the details of your constitution. I am going to Montreal tomorrow. From there, I will go to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and then to Los Angeles. I'm sending the addresses of our various centers along with this letter. We're executing a plan to build New Vrindavan on 300 acres of land. Kindly reply to the Los Angeles Hollywood address, as I will be staying 3 days in Montreal, 7 days in Santa Fe, and almost 1 month in Los Angeles. Prithivite ache jato nagaradigram sarvatra prachara hoive mor nam. Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat Antikanda 126. My holy name will be broadcast in every town and village of this earth planet. You should create a constitution based on this prediction, such that the task of preaching will be spread powerfully throughout the world. I hope your bhajan is going on nicely. Your obedient servant, Sri Bhaktivedānta Swāmī. P.S. If you have any nice photograph of Śrīla Maharaj, then kindly send it to me. I will get a life-size oil painting made of it. And along with a picture of Srila Prabhupada, I will place it in my prominent centers, particularly New York, Hollywood, London, and so forth. Translated from Gauḍīya-patrikā, year 14, issue 8, 1968. All right, so on here is the letter. There's the verse. Vairagya-vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga. I know some of these people. Nathan Zakai, that was mine. Anyhow, okay, let's continue on. A younger god brother's expression of distress and separation. Oh no, wait, I don't think we're not reading this line. We're going to read the next one. Okay, so this is his all-encompassing Sevā by Śrīmad Bhakti Pramoda Purī Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Kriti Ratna Prabhu, foremost among Srila Prabhupada's disciples. 1 second, let me just drink some water. Jagat Guru Nityalila Pravishta Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada, who is adorned with unlimited virtues, had many renounced disciples residing in the Mod. Shripad Vinod Bihari Brahmachari Kriti Ratna Prabhu is not merely one of them, but foremost among them. Wow, that's a really bold thing to say. Shripad Vinod Bihari Brahmachari Kriti Ratna Prabhu is not merely one of them, but foremost among them. Following Srila Prabhupada's entrance into Krishna's pastimes in the spiritual world, Shripad Vinod Bihari Brahmachari accepted Tridandi sannyas from Param Pujyapad Parivrajacacharya Tridandi Swami Śrīmad Bhakti Rakshak Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and became known as Tridandi Swami Śrīmad Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja. He was the founder and chairman of the Sri Gauḍīya-Vedanta Samiti. On the eve of Sunday, 6 October 1968, or the 19th of Ashvin, 1375 in the Bengali calendar, at around 6:15 in the evening, he orchestrated his disappearance pastime at the Śrīmati's main headquarters, Sri Devananda Gauḍīya Math in Sri Damnavadu. At the auspicious juncture of the first day of the lunar fortnight and Raka Purnima, during a complete lunar eclipse, while chanting Sri Harinam Sankirtan, and before his disciples who were also performing Sankirtan, he entered the eternal evening pastimes, the Nitya Sayan Lila of Shri Shri Radha Govindaji during the 6th yam part of the day. According to the calculation of time in this elemental realm, his age was 71 years, 8 months, and 12 days. Appearance of an extraordinary personality. He appeared on 24 January 1819 in Banaripara, a town in the district of Barisal, and a renowned and respected family of landowners. His esteemed father, who received mantra initiation from Vijay Krishna Goswami of the Advaita lineage, possessed all the good qualities befitting a Vaishna. After taking shelter of his guru's feet, he performed sadhan bhajan under his guidance and spent much of his time studying scriptures on bhakti. Like his father, his mother also was adorned with all of the auspicious qualities of a Vaishnava. She was highly intelligent and, moreover, extremely devotional. Sri Bhagavan arranged for his intimate associates to appear in such a family of devotees. From his childhood, it was clearly evident that his heart was full of bhakti, compassion, and other virtues befitting a Vaishnava. His family members were astonished upon seeing, even in his childhood, the blossoming of bhakti and all good qualities. Noting in particular his dedication to truth, his vehement opposition of injustice, his love of dharma, and other great qualities, receptive persons declared, "Very soon this boy will prove himself to be an exalted, superhuman personality." And by the will of the Lord, that is precisely what happened. Hari Bol Chandramukhi, I am reading from a book, Kriti Ratna, and it is available on purebhakti.com. If you just type in Kriti Ratna in Google search, the PDF should show up, all the places you can download it. Taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada. In 1915, at the age of 18, he had the fortune of taking darshan of Sri Dham Mayapur. There he also had the great opportunity to receive darshan of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet and to hear Harikatha from his lotus lips. Later, in 1919, he took full shelter at Prabhupada's lotus feet, which grant fearlessness, and as a Naishtik Brahmachari, a monk fixed in his vow of celibacy, he began to reside in Mayapur, in Sri Chaitanya Gaudiya Math, Rajpatan. There he proceeded to practice the limbs of devotion as taught by Srila Rupa Goswami, taking shelter of Sri Guru's lotus feet, receiving initiation and instructions from him, and serving him with intimacy. There's that verse, Adav Padashraya Tasmat, from Srila Rupa Goswami. It's the first of the 64 limbs of bhakti, right? Hearing Shuddha Bhakti Siddhanta and smashing Mayavad. Srila Maharajji heard from the mouth of Srila Prabhupada and the matchless Srila Maharajji heard from the mouth of Srila Prabhupada of the matchless speciality of pure devotion as practiced and preached by Sriman Mahaprabhu and expounded in all of the Vedic scriptures. He discovered that Shankar's Mayavad commentary propounding Kevala Dvaitavad, exclusive monism, is the most prominent obstacle on the path of bhakti. When Srila Maharajji heard the confidential conclusion that Śrīmad Bhagavatam presents the true meaning of Brahma Sutra, the conclusion of the Mahabharata, the commentary on the Gayatri Mantra, and the purport of the Vedas. He collected 10 to 12 manuscripts on the authentic Vaishna philosophies of Vishishtadvaita, qualitative monism, Shuddhadvaita, refined monism, Shuddhadvaita, refined dualism, Dvaitavad, dualism within monism, the Govinda Bhashya of Vaishnavacharya Sri Baladev Vibhushan, and the above-mentioned Mayavad commentary of Shankaracharya named Shariraka Bhashya. Under Srila Prabhupada's direction, he gave keen focus to delivering specialized discourses in Kathak at Revan Shah College at Orissa, and at other large assemblies, refuting Shankar's views. Summaries of these speeches appeared in the Dainik Nadia Prakash, published in Mayapur. Srila Maharajji expounded the concepts of Brahma Sutra through Srimad Mahaprabhu's teaching on Nam Bhajan. He would say, the word Brahma should be understood to mean Shabda Brahma, the divine sound vibration. And Shabda Brahma is the same Nam Brahma, divinity encapsulated in the holy name, preached by Srimad Mahaprabhu. Nowhere in the 550 verses of Brahma Sutra is there mention of Brahma being formless, nirakar, undifferentiated, nirvishesh, or without attributes, nirgun. Service to the Dham, the Lord of the Dham, and its residents. When Srila Maharajji took shelter of the most worshipful Srila Prabhupada's feet, Srila Prabhupada gave him considerable responsibilities to ensure that the service of Mayapur would be executed perfectly. Sri Narahari Seva Vigraha Prabhu, the guardian of Akar Mataraj Sri Chaitanya Mat, was his inseparable and bosom friend. With his counsel, he rendered many types of services to Dhameshwar Sri Gaur Hari and to the residents of the Dham. Due to his birth in a high-class family of landowners, and much more than that, due to the mercy of Sri Guru and Gauranga, he was magnanimous at heart. When he saw the sorrows of others, his heart would melt. At that time, he cared for all of Mayapur in such a charming manner, without discriminating on the basis of a person's caste or religion. He resolved rights and wrongs in such wonderful ways that all would be pleased. The wrongdoers would become ashamed of their injustices and pray for forgiveness. Due to the skillful resolutions he proffered, citizens who were struggling with poverty did not need to squander their money in the government courts. Everyone, from the district magistrates of Nadia to the judges, arbiters, lawyers, and the school and college teachers, everyone knew Sri Vinod Bihari Brahmachari Kriti Ratna, or Vinod Babu, to be a religious, benevolent, virtuous man and a citizen of Nadia town. They offered him appropriate respect. His auspicious qualities, as befitting a Vaishnava, enchanted everyone. Pleasing Srila Prabhupada. Sri Vinod Bihari Brahmachari would make all arrangements for Sri Navadip Dham Parikrama and the celebration of Sri Gaur's birth, and also for Sri Dham Pracharini Sabha, an assembly established by Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur to propagate the glories of Sri Navadip. He set up a printing press, and in 1929, he curated a spiritual exhibit. He oversaw the publication of the daily Nadia, Dainik Nadia Prakash, and the weekly Gauḍīya, and various scriptures. He supervised the construction of the main road in Sri Dham Mayapur, managed the finances, and rendered many other services, thus pleasing Prabhupada greatly, even as a brahmachari. Wow, so when we go down that road, the Ishodhyan, that main road in Mayapur, that was all our Param Gurudev who did that. Vinoda and Naraharita were bosom friends to all. Just being around them filled everyone's heart with joy. No matter how far away we were for some service or other, as soon as we made plans to return to Mayapur, our hearts became full of happiness. We so craved to see them that our hearts would actually ache. They too were always delighted to see us. I observed the eagerness of our worshipful Prabhupada also to go to Mayapur when he was staying at the Kolkata Mod. And when he arrived in Mayapur, it was as if his soul was soothed and he would find peace. During this time, Vinoda and Naraharida rendered most of the personal service to Prabhupada. In those days, we had the opportunity to hear from the mouth of Prabhupada all the confidential conclusions pertaining to the realm of bhajan. Now that all seems like a dream. Tehi no divas gata. Those days are long gone. Srila Prabhupada's disappearance and founding Gauḍīya-patrikā Samiti. Early in the morning, on 1st January 1937, in Kolkata at Sri Baghbazar Gaudiya Mod, the most worshipful Srila Prabhupada entered into the Aprakat Lila, Sri Radha Krishna's pastimes in the spiritual world. His divine body was transferred by a special train to Krishna Nagar, and then to Sri Mayapur Chaitanya Mat, where he was placed in Samadhi. After a few years, some disturbances began within the mission. In 1940, with extreme sadness, Sri Vinod Bihari Brahmachari was compelled to leave Sri Chaitanya Mat. On the day of Akshay Tritiya in 1941, in a rented building at Bospara Lane, Kolkata, he established Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā Samiti. Bhagavan's unsolicited compassion. Once, sometime between 1941 and 1942, Mahārāja was sitting in his Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā Samiti location at 33-2 Bospara Lane when his godbrother, Shripad Narayan Das Mukhopadhyay Prabhu, Sevā Suhrid, arrived to meet with him. It was the day of Akadashi. They became absorbed in talks, and since it was getting late, Sri Narayan Das wanted to return home. But Mahārāja did not have a single paisa to prepare even the simplest prasad to offer his godbrother. He was experiencing deep anguish when a sparrow, surely sent by Bhagavan, dropped a small bundle from above. When he picked it up, he saw it contained 6.5 anna of paisa. He saw it contained 6.5 anna of paisa in it, a viable sum at that time. Understanding the paisa to be heaven sent, he had a brahmachari order some sandesh, and after offering it, he lovingly fed his godbrother. He did not, however, have anything to feed all of the other Vaishnavas present. Just then, the postman knocked at the door and informed him that Tridandi Swami Bhakti Sarvasa Giri Maharaj had sent him 100 rupees. How auspicious! How blessed! Glorious is Bhagavan Gaur Sundar, who is affectionate to his devotees. Glorious is Guru Pad Padma's causeless mercy. Witnessing this unexpected occurrence, all the Vaishnavas present became stunned and began to cry the praises of Guru Gauranga repeatedly. Accepting this gesture of unsolicited divine compassion, Pujapad Maharaj then glorified Sri Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas, his heart overflowing with joy. Accepting sannyas. That same year, on Bhadra Purnima, September 1942, in Katwa, the holy location of Mahaprabhu's sannyas lila, he accepted sannyas from the respected Parivrajak Acharya Tridandi Swami Bhakti Rakshak Śrīla Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and became known by the name Tridandi Swami Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja. From then onward, he began preaching the message of Gaur in countless places with great zeal. Establishing Sri Devananda Gaudiya Mat and other centers for preaching Śrīla Bhakti. Sridhar Mayapur was the very life and soul of Pujapad Maharaj and Naraharida. But after Prabhupada's departure, the situation in Mayapur deteriorated to such an extent that it was not possible for them to remain there a moment more. After consulting with Naraharida, he went to Tegharipara Koladi, where he established the main mat of Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā Samiti. Koladvip Kulia is Aparad Bhanjan Pat, the place where offenses are forgiven. There, Gopal Chapal and Sri Devananda Pandit, who had committed offenses at the feet of Mahaprabhu's dear associate Srivas Pandit, were forgiven. Thus the mat was named Sri Devananda Gaudiya Mat. This exceptionally beautiful mat was founded on a little more than 6 bighas, 3 acres of land. There they manifested such much grandeur, a gigantic temple dome that touches the sky, and a huge Natya Mandir, temple for dancing. Surrounding the temple on 4 sides were living quarters for the devotees, a Sanskrit school, a publishing department, etc. To preserve the ancient history of Koladip, Maharajji established a deity of Kola, or Varaha, in one of the sections of the altar. The appropriate priest installed the deities in a festive ceremony as per the guidance of the Sattvika Shastras, the scriptures in the Bhakti line. Bhagavan Buddha and Gautam Buddha are not the same. In 1942, he established Sri Udharan Gaudiya Mat in the town of Chunchura and began to preach in the nearby areas. That's Umadidi's place, where I think Umadidi's family were instrumental in purchasing that property. She's there right now, Ummadidi. During this time in the town of Ramapur, he gave lectures for 1 week on Śrīmad Bhagavatam in a Sanskrit school, which is established by a famous lawyer named Sri Pani Bhushan Chakravarti Shastri. The school contained a large library and one particular Buddhist scripture in it, entitled Lankavatar Sutram, caught Maharajji's attention. He included quotes from this book in his own compilation called Mayavadir Jivani, a history of Mayavad. Lankavatar Sutram is a collection of historical accounts from the Treta Yuga about Mayavadis. In one place, it is written that Ravan, the king of Lanka, used to travel by celestial airplane to a high mountain peak to meet with Buddha and study Advaitavad. In 1946, while performing Ujjavrat in Kashi, Mahanagari, Maharajji traveled to Buddha Gaya, presently known as Bodh Gaya. There he came to know that since ancient times, the Buddha Gaya temple was managed entirely by esteemed Mahanta of Shankaracharya's Advaitavadi lineage. Shankaracharya thus has claimed the wealth of Buddha Gaya. How did Shankaracharya become the leader of a Buddhist mod? Does this guy Shankara originates from a Buddhist lineage? Overwhelmed with curiosity, Maharajji inquired about this from the head of the temple, who gave him a book to inspect, entitled Lalit Vistar. Maharajji refers to parts of that book in his own Mayavadir Jivani. There it is mentioned that Shakya Buddha performed austerities underneath a peepal tree at Buddha Gaya, which is the appearance place of Purna Buddha, the complete Buddha, having understood the spots to be favorable for the attainment of perfection. In his book, Maharajji writes, Buddha Gaya's original name was Kikata. To this day, Shankar sannyasis worship a deity of Buddha at this place. They accept that Buddha Gaya is the appearance place of Adi Buddha, or Vishnu Buddha. It is where Shakya Singha Buddha performed his spiritual practice. By this, it is clearly evident that Bhagavan Buddha and Gautam Buddha are not the same person. According to the Amara Kosh, an ancient highly reputable Sanskrit source, the name for Bhagavan Buddha is Bodhisattva mentions Samasta Bhadra Buddha. After its realization, Gautama became known by the name Buddha. Thus, there are 3 Buddhas, Gautam Buddha, Bodhisattva Buddha, and Adi Buddha. In Mayavadar Jivani, Maharaj has written, Lankavatar Sutram is a famous and authoritative Buddhist scripture. The Buddha mentioned in this book is not Shakyasingha Buddha. In the first chapter of this book, the king of Lanka, Ravan, sings praise of Bhagavan Buddha and all of the Buddhas who are yet to appear. The Vishnu Buddha mentioned in Śrīmad Bhagavatam is not the Shunyavadi, the nihilist Gautam Buddha. Namo Buddhaya Shuddhaya, Daita Danava Mohini. I propitiate that pure Buddha who bewilders the demoniac sons of Diti and Danu. Śrīmad Bhagavatam 10:40-22. And Tata Kalo Sampravrite, Sammohaya Sura Dvisham, Buddha Namanjana Sutta Kikateshu Bhavishyati. Then, just as Kali Yuga commences, a son of Anjana by the name of Buddha will appear in Kikata to bewilder the enemies of the theists. Śrīmad Bhagavatam 1:3-24. Vishnu Buddha is also referred to in the Linga Puran, Bhavishya Puran, Varaha Puran, and the Shringa Puran. Buddha Gaya is the appearance place of Vishnu Buddha. It is a place of worship for Shakyasingha Buddha. Maharajji established these truths in his Mayavadar Jivani on the grounds of scriptural reference and sound logic. Mayavad, convert Buddhism. From the scriptures of Sri Narad and Sri Shandila Rishi, Pujapad Maharajji revealed that another name for Brahma Sutra is Bhakti Sutra. He did not accept the Gyanvad of Acharya Shankar to be the same as Brahmavad. He provided proof from Padma Puran and other scriptures that Mayavad is not supported in Shastra and is nothing other than covered Buddhism. Although it appears to resemble Veda, in actuality, it contradicts Veda. It is destructive to devotion, and it does not concur with Vedic teachings. According to Padma Puran and Varaha Puran, Shri Vishnu instructed Shri Rudra as follows: devise a scripture of bewilderment that will conceal my true nature. These teachings are Rudra's form of destruction, intended to annihilate the eternality of bhakti, the bhakta, and Bhagavan. Maharajji has assessed this topic thoroughly in his book. In Vedanta, the prefix ni in the words nirakaratva, formlessness, nirvisheshatva, undifferentiatedness, nishaktitva, powerlessness, and nirgunatva, qualitylessness, precludes mundanity, prakrit tattva, while affirming transcendence, aprakrit tattva. Quoting the views of Srila Kaviraj Goswami and Srila Bhaktivedānta Thakur, Maharajji cautions the practitioner of bhakti to shun Mayavad, which is adverse to bhakti, and the company of Mayavadis, which destroy bhakti. Driving Mayavad far away and giving love for Bhakti-devi, the goddess of devotion, was one of Maharajji's main purposes. His extraordinary accomplishments. Srila Maharajji exemplified the ideal of conviction of service to Sri Guru, Gaur Dham, and Dhameshwar Sri Gaur, who embodies the Panchatattva. In the defense of truth, he was harsher than a thunderbolt. Yet, in his affection for his disciples, his heart is softer than a flower. His extremely condensed affection for his disciples was exemplary. If a disciple was beset with disease or injury, Srila Maharajji's soft flower-like heart would melt, and he would give his everything to restore that disciple back to health. In the initial stages of manifesting his Acharya Leela, he was penniless, and thus he faced some struggles. However, by Bhagavan's inspiration, some particularly faithful and wealthy devotees helped him, and thus mats and temples were opened in many different locations. He established the 16 Krosha Navadip Parikrama and celebrated Gaur Janmotsav with great festivity. He also inaugurated the Parikramas Shiv Rajamandal, Kshetramandal, Gaudamandal, and pilgrimages to many other sacred places in India. In so doing, he set an example for the world of the limb of bhakti known as Pada Sevana. In Sri Dham Navadip and Chunchura, Maharajji inaugurated the Rath Yatra of Sri Jagannath Ji. For the purpose of comprehensively studying scriptural texts, Shastra Grantha, and propagating Sanskrit education, he established a library, a Sanskrit school, and a dormitory for students. To print scriptures and religious magazines, he established a printing press. Organizing various events and festivals, he gathered faithful people together and spoke a lot of Harikatha to them. His disappearance. Mahārāja established many mats. Shri Devananda Gaudiya Mat and Shri Dham Navadvip, Shri Keshavji Gaudiya Mat in Mathura, Shri Pichalda Gaudiya Mat in Pichalda, Medinipur, Shri Gopalji Gaudiya Mat in Preaching Center in Baleshwar, next to Kir Chor Gopinath. I've been there. Shri Goloka Ganja Gaudiya Mat in Golokganj, Assam, Shri Vasudev Gaudiya Mat in Basugaon, and other preaching centers elsewhere. All these preaching centers served as the stage for disseminating the deep conclusions of pure devotion, Shuddha Bhakti Siddhanta, taught and practiced by Guru and Gauranga. By hearing Harikatha from his lotus mouth, lucky souls attains the good fortune of entering into pure devotion. On 10 October 1968, at the west side of the same Natya Mandir, his divine form was placed into Samadhi. An elegant mausoleum. I don't know what that. I guess that means a small group. Anyways, a stately or impressive building housing a tomb or group of tombs. Okay. Mausoleum was constructed there according to the regulations of scripture. Pangs of separation. A person who fails to comprehend the importance of proper dental care is bound to regret it later. And in regard to Mahārāja, this is our condition today. He who possesses all good qualities, who is full of enthusiasm, and who teaches through his ideal example has disappeared, causing us to experience deep anguish that is not possible to describe in words. And separation from a godbrother such as he, who has returned back to Sri Guru, Sri Gauranga, and Gaurdham, our hearts are completely overwhelmed. Our sorrowful prayer at his lotus feet is that he may be pleased with us. Seeing the suffering that his disciples are feeling in separation from him, we are also full of anguish. According to his wishes, Tridanbi Swami Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Vamanraj, as the president and acharya of the society, Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Mahārāja, as the vice president, and Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Trivikram Mahārāja, as the secretary, are perfectly managing all the tasks of his mission. I love this part. Even after his departure, the sevaks of the Mat are giving their very lives in an endeavor to serve, and are thus continuing to please him. This matter brings great joy and pride to our hearts. Brings pride to our hearts. Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna, year 41, issue 12. Parts of this article will be ordered according to the chronological sequence. All right, so next we're moving on to Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Gosvāmī Mahārāja's offering. A lowly servant's grief-stricken offering. This is Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Gosvāmī Mahārāja, during Śrīla Bhakti Saraswati Thakur's time, he was just a little kid, like Śrīla Vāman Gosvāmī Mahārāja. I think they are the same age, and they both were in the Bhaktivedānta Institute. So you'll see. Respected readers, today, on the supremely sanctified occasion of the 100th anniversary of the appearance of Param Pujyapad Nitya-lila Pravishta Śrīmad Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja, I have been instructed to glorify him in terms of his many qualities. In order to purify myself, I will only relate whatever I have personally perceived and experienced of his life and character, and nothing else. I was fortunate to have received the full shelter of Srila Gurudev's, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's lotus feet at the age of 11. At that time, I was living in the rented Kolkata Mat at No. 1 Ultadanga Junction Road and studying at primary school. Wow, so he already left home and he was living in the Mat at 11 years old. Later, I stayed in the Mat in Mayapur and studied Harinamamrita Vyakara. At the time, the present Acharya of Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā Samiti, Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Mahārāja, was my classmate. We lived together, studying, serving, and so on. Since then, I had the good fortune to be extremely close to Param Pujapad Śrīmad Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Vinoda and Naraharida's ideal character, Guru Nishta, Guru Seva, and Bhajan. In those days, all the residents of the Mat affectionately addressed him as Vinoda. I also called him Vinoda. He had not yet taken sannyas. As the property manager in Sri Dham, he took full charge of overseeing the estate. He was rather debonair and would ride a horse to tend to estate affairs. Vinoda naturally commanded so much authority that we were sometimes intimidated by the very sight of him. Although he was a brahmachari, all the sannyasis and senior godbrothers treated him with particular respect. At the time, Srila Prabhupada's dear servant, Pujapad Shripad Narahari Prabhu, looked after the Mat in Mayapur. That's Narahari Sevā. He was, in a way, the mother of the Mat. We all addressed him as Prabhu. He had a very accommodating nature and cared for all the youngsters in the Mat with great affection. We therefore spoke with him openly and without inhibition. The grave and somber Vinoda and the simple and straightforward Sri Narahari Prabhu made an astonishing transcendental combination. Together, they enlivened us all with their ideal character and their exemplary faith in Guru, service to Guru, and practice of bhajan. So much so that till today, we have not deviated from the realm of bhajan. Theirs was a great friendship. Shripad Naraharida was always loudly chanting the names of Hari throughout the day, wherever he went, busy with various tasks in service to the Mat. But we did not know what he did during the night, what he did at night. One evening, I woke up unexpectedly and saw that he was wrapped in chanting japa of the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, in a gentle yet stricken tone. I then saw, to my surprise, that his shika was tied by a rope to a peg in the wall. I knew it was not appropriate to disturb his Harinam, so I went back to sleep. In the morning, I offered obeisances at his lotus feet with great sincerity and inquired, Prabhu, why did you have your shika tied to a peg in the wall last night while you were performing bhajan? He dismissed me affectionately, saying, Go and study, you won't understand all this just yet. Then he continued, You see, I am busy all day with various services in the Mat, so I don't get any time to chant Harinam. At nights, when chanting, I tie my shika to the peg in the wall so that laziness and sleep do not overcome me. Such was his astonishing conviction in performing sadhan and bhajan. Worshipful Vinoda was a very grave and munificent person, devoted to bhajan. From the beginning, he was well versed in Vedanta and other scriptures. He would stun everyone with his philosophical views, which were replete with the conclusions of bhakti and with his irrefutable logic. His appearance in this world. Shripad Keśava Mahārāja appeared in a village named Banaripada in the Barisal district of East Bengal, Bangladesh. Next time I go to Bangladesh, I really want to go to Param Guru's house. A brahmachari here has his address. I have been to his childhood home. He was born in a well-educated and aristocratic family. Even though I was a very small boy at the time, seeing the luxuries they had, I wondered how he could have suddenly left living in such an affluent home with his mother, father, friends, and relatives to enter the path of bhajan. Worshipful Vinoda had completely submitted his body, mind, words, and very life, his everything, to Srila Prabhupada. There were times when he even gave up all concern for his own life and the service of his guru. During Srila Prabhupada's manifest presence, Vinoda was always ready to serve, and even after the disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, he always endeavored to preserve the mats and preaching centers for Shuddha Bhakti established by his guru. He also endeavored to preserve Srila Prabhupada's exemplary conduct and ideals. Though he met with a variety of obstacles and impediments in doing so, he never deviated from his duty. His firm conviction was that the lotus feet of his Gurudev were always on his head, providing him protection. On the strength of his confidence, he remained intent on the Manopishta Seva of Srila Guru Padma, the inner heart's service, inner heart's desires of service. He was afraid of nothing. He was afraid of nothing. He always spoke the unbiased truth fearlessly. He fulfilled Srila Prabhupada's inner heart's desires. After Srila Prabhupada entered Nitya-lila, all of the daily, weekly, and monthly publications, namely Nadia Prakash, Shri Gauḍīya, and Shri Bhagavat, stopped, along with the preaching of the Gauḍīya Mod. Śrīpad Keśava Mahārāja enthusiastically began publishing the monthly Gauḍīya-patrikā in Bengali and Gauḍīya-patrikā in Hindi. Fearlessly, he preached Shuddha Bhakti in accordance with the conceptions of Srila Prabhupada all over India. To fully carry out this Manopishta Seva of Srila Prabhupada, he first established Sri Gauḍīya-Vedānta Samiti in Kolkata. Next, he accepted sannyas in the town of Katwa from his godbrother, a Diksha and sannyas disciple of Srila Prabhupada, Param Pujapad Śrīmad Bhakti Rakshak Śrīla Mahārāja, by whose wish he established Sri Devananda Gaudiya Mat in Koladip, in Navadip town. Around that time, in the midst of those grim circumstances, I too left the main mat to establish a mat in Keśava. Mercifully, he set foot in that mat and fearlessly dismantled the false conclusions opposed to Shuddha Bhakti propounded by a certain bogus lineage, Apasampadaya. I went for his samadhi when he was put into samadhi there, Keśava. Really sweet mat. Yeah. In that crowded assembly, there was no one who dared oppose his sound conclusions and logic. Everyone who heard his deliberations was struck with wonder. Due to his incomparable aptitude for preaching the message of Srila Prabhupada, he established preaching centers not only in Bengal, but all over India. Even at present, his followers, disciples, and grand-disciples are preaching throughout India under the auspices of his Shri Gauḍīya-Vedānta Samiti. They are propagating Shuddha Bhakti and Harinam all over the world and establishing preaching centers and mats everywhere. Seeing this brings me great joy. He possessed all the symptoms of a Sadguru, as described in the scriptures. During Śrīpad Keśava Mahārāja's lifetime of preaching, I directly witnessed in him all of the symptoms of an authentic spiritual master, a Sadguru, as described in the scriptures. Throughout his life, I never saw in him a single trace of the 6 enemies: lust, anger, greed, illusion, intoxication, or envy. Kanaka Kamini Pratishta Bhagini Chari Yachit Jari Sheto Vaishna. One who has cast off wealth, women, and the tigress of prestige, and who has given up all bodily attachments is a Vaishna. I have directly witnessed in my life how he exemplified these words. Many persons accept the dress of a sadhu or a sannyasi, yet they remain perpetually attached to wealth, women, and prestige. But I never perceived even a trace of a scent of the desire for wealth, women, and prestige in Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja's devotion-filled life. He did not come to this world to pose as a sadhu. Rather, he preached Śrīla Bhakti by his own devotional conduct. In this regard, he set an incomparable example. Today, in separation from him, we are experiencing anguish of heart. Leaving us, he is gone from this world to remain forever in the eternal pastimes. In this age of Kali, a topmost Vaishnava guru like him is extremely rare. Shri Gurudev is the eternally perfected embodiment of the Lord's mercy. The fortune to associate with such a personality is not available to everyone. What does that non-duplicitous service to Guru accomplish? Vaishnaver avedane Krishna doyamoy, ehino pamara prati hoi ben sadoy. The Vaishnav's prayers invoke Krishna's compassion, such that he may favor this wretch. According to this scriptural statement, only by the mercy of the Guru can one attain eternal service at the lotus feet of Sri Bhagavan. There is no other way to obtain Sri Bhagavan. Shri Gurudev is the direct embodiment of Bhagavan's mercy potency. He descends to this material world by the Lord's will to deliver souls who are averse to Bhagavan and to bestow eternal service to the lotus feet of Sri Krishna. Such an authentic Guru is obtained only by great good fortune. In this age of Kali, a topmost Vaishnava Guru like him is extremely rare. Glorification of him on the 100th anniversary of his appearance is beneficial for the self. Vaishnaver Gunagan Korile Jiveratan. Glorifying the Vaishnava affects the salvation of the soul. We have heard from the mouths of sadhus and Shri Gurudev that the soul gains deliverance by singing the glories of the Vaishnavas. To properly appreciate the occasion of his appearance, the non-duplicitous sadhak must endeavor to uphold the example he set. It is through examining his life that we can recognize the speciality of his appearance in this world. It is impossible to say how many Guru Sevaks have offered themselves at his lotus feet and are doing bhajan and Shri Gordham or Shri Vrindavan Dham. The present Acharya of Shri Gauḍīya-patrikā Samiti, Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Mahārāja, is also exuberantly spreading his teachings everywhere. In terms of succession, his ideal is exemplary. Presently, the recipient of his affection and mercy, Sri Nārāyaṇa Mahārāja, is preaching extensively throughout India and abroad as well. It is true to say that I have received the affection and mercy of Pujyapada Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja. However, today, on his 100th anniversary, as I look into my own heart, it seems that I have not even come close to emulating his exalted example, nor have I completely or properly followed it. Be that as it may, he is compassionate and loving. On this sacred 100th anniversary of his appearance, I prostrate myself at his lotus feet and beg him to shower his merciful blessings on me, so that my life too will be filled with bhajan, and I will finally arrive at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. There is much to write about him, and there are many qualified and accomplished writers. I do not want to deprive them of space in the book by writing too much. In conclusion, I only wish to say that today, this fallen and lowly person considers himself fortunate to have had the opportunity to offer his fervent supplication at the lotus feet of Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja. May he be merciful to me. I am now 84 years old. The time has come for me too to depart from this world. Thus, on this occasion, I offer my pushpanjali at his lotus feet and conclude my homage. Praying for mercy, the fallen servant, Shri Bhakti Kumuda Santa. Śrīla-Bhakti-patrikā, year 41, issue 12, 1998. He was saying then in 1998 that it was his time to leave this world, but he ended up staying until, I don't know what year it was, maybe 2014, something like that. 2015. All right. One second. I'm just going to close my. I'm going to close my door. My window, I mean, because they're starting kirtan and that will be distracting. But right now we're going to read. That's the first issue of Bhagavad-patrikā that Srila Prabhupada is talking about. Okay, we're this. Not the full thing. We're just going to read part of this poem by my Param Gurudev's aunt, Sarojavāsinī-devī. She was one of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's first female disciples. A glimpse of his early life and pilgrimages. We're not going to read the early life, the pilgrimages part, because that's just way too long. Just give me 1 second, though. Okay, let's just drink some water. Following Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Gosvāmī Thakur Prabhupada's disappearance, his dear disciple and companion, Srila Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja, found new and innovative ways to carry on his Guru's mission. For several years after establishing Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā Samiti in 1941, he took huge groups of devotees on pilgrimage of numerous holy sites across India every year during the month of Kartik, often booking whole train compartments. He thus preached the message of Lord Chaitanya, providing countless souls the opportunity to hear and chant in the company of devotees, and thoroughly cultivates the limb of devotion known as Pada Sevana, which can either mean to serve the Lord's lotus feet or to utilize one's feet in the Lord's service. Accompanying Srila Acharya Dev on many of these pilgrimages was his aunt, the esteemed Sriyukta Sarojavāsinī-devī. In 1949, she submitted an unprecedented chronicle of those extraordinary preaching tours to Sri Sajjan Sevak Brahmachari, Sri Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Vāman Gosvāmī Mahārāja, who was the editor of Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā at the time. Srila Vāman Gosvāmī Mahārāja writes, this was a footnote I remember in the magazine. He said, the Venerable Sri Sarojavāsinī-devī, whose writings reveal her supreme devotion, is the first and most distinguished of Srila Prabhupada's female disciples. About 6 months ago, she sent me a lengthy lyrical composition about Pujyapada Acharya Dev, requesting that I publish it. But Pujyapada Acharya Dev firmly objected, which is why its publication was not immediate. Owing to the respected author's determined insistence and repeated requests, I am compelled to publish this work, even though publishing anything in praise of Pujyapada Acharya Dev goes against his wishes. As the author is revered and worshipped by Vaishnavas in all the ashrams of the renowned Sri Gaudiya Math, it is quite impossible for me to deny her order and requests. Srila Thakur Bhaktivinod's publishing of his autobiography did not diminish his glory in the slightest. It truly benefited the world. This piece first appeared in 1950 in Sri Gauḍīya-patrikā, Year 2, Issues 3 through 6. So it says, Part 1, The Extraordinary Qualities of a Vaishnava. Where's verse 1? Oh, verse 1 down there. Okay. The sacred body of a Vaishnava is host to all extraordinary virtues. As Sri Krishna's devotees are infused with all of his own qualities, I hereby declare the glories of Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī, whom I know to be the glowing embodiment of such qualities. And you'll see sometimes there are like three verses together, and it's numbered 3. But if you actually number all the verses separately, I think it comes to like 250 something or whatever. Yeah, it's a very long poem that she wrote. So we're just going to read the very first part of it. But yeah, Tomar Ananta Guna Sada Jagimani Nahi Deki Eto Gun Sarvata Sadharani. I'm not going to read all of Bengali, but Sarva Mahaguna Khani Guru Dasagan Kintu Vicharile Bhai Ache Taratam. Your infinite virtues forever awaken in my mind. I do need. Oh wait, I skipped the first verse. Oh, this was the first verse. Okay. Your infinite virtues forever awaken in my mind. I do not seek such characteristics in ordinary souls. All the servants of Sri Guru are repositories of extraordinary qualities, but subtle consideration, O brother, reveals unique differences. Dharma has been your life and soul since you were a child. Sinful and ignorant as I am, I could not comprehend this fact, even though I witnessed it. As a small boy, you sought day and night to serve those who were in distress, who had lost their way, or who were without friends. You founded an association called Shri Dharma Rakshini Sabha, an assembly to defend religious principles, and taught your childhood peers that Dharma alone is the essence of life. I love that. You sought day and night to serve those who were without friends, who had lost their way, who were in distress. How often you would go to school, meet a blind beggar or someone else in distress, and give them the shawl and other clothes you were wearing. Your compassion for people's suffering from despair and poverty was limitless. I witnessed this myself, unlook and fallen Percy that I am. From birth, you represented the glowing ideal of renunciation. There was never a time you showed any zeal for satisfying your tongue and stomach. Rather, being so pained at seeing others in distress, you would even neglect to eat, as being of service to them was the only thing that mattered, and you did this with single-minded focus. Calm and gentle of heart and magnanimous of character, you went from place to place, seeking the highest welfare for all. You have been a refuge for the orphaned ever since your childhood. Remembering all of this, I offer my obeisances to you always. I cannot even hope to touch your limitless qualities, being so fallen, wretched, and totally degenerate. In the eyes of the world, I'm your paternal aunt, but you used to refer to me as your big sister when you were very little, because our bond as godbrother and godsister is an inseparable one, a relationship which you were evidently aware of since your very birth. Isn't that neat? Your life will never involve becoming entangled in mundane family. By nature, you are always indifferent to worldly interests, having surpassed the delusions of Maya. Seeing your childhood play, Everyone said as much. But as my mind was bewildered by Maya, I never understood this, even though I, foolish, pitiful person that I am, had witnessed your renunciation since your childhood. You are my best friend in this world, as you showed to this wretch a guru who is a jewel of all good qualities. That guru is second to none, and a great, great personality who, like Sri Nityananda Prabhu, is the savior of the fallen. Saintly persons proclaim him to the avatar of Sri Gaur Hari's teachings, and it was due to your mercy that I met such a master. He is the friend of the fallen, an ocean of compassion. Who even has the power to describe a single particle of his mercy? I am a deviant and a wretch, a disgrace to humanity. I am inferior even to the various species of animals, as my behavior is worse than theirs. There is no sin that I have not committed in this birth. Day and night, I am repeatedly guilty of every possible offense. There is none so despicable in this world, no greater sinner or degenerate in all of material existence. Our Prabhu saw me and knew I was the ideal candidate for his compassion. The mercy he showed me was simply causeless. I can say for certain that I received the mercy of our Guru because of your mercy. Therefore, again and again, I clasp my hands and offer millions and millions of obeisances unto your feet. You are so simple-hearted, the epitome of sincerity. Pretense finds no abode in you. Hence, I worship you time and time again. Since your birth, you have been indifferent to wealth and extremely detached. Never have you adored money. Such a person alone deserves to be called renounced. I pray that I always remember your lotus feet. I had heard of being more tolerant than a tree, and by the strength of Sri Guru's mercy, I saw that such a quality truly exists. When I think of your tolerance and compassion, it strikes my heart with great wonder. Your heart is offered to Sri Krishna, and thus remains far from illusion and ignorance. You are always immersed in the ecstasy of service, and you always speak sweetly. As you are self-satisfied, your countenance is supremely happy. I have never seen you unhappy for even a moment, and beholding you rouses sheer delight in the heart. All glories to Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava, I do declare. You are not even slightly irked by the incessant criticisms. I noted this a long time ago. You are never displeased with anyone. You are never provoked, even when people try to find a way to anger you. You have conquered the 6 urges. You are decorated with the 6 virtues, and you have relinquished the 6 faults. You are a supremely virtuous and noble person. You never engage in slander and gossip, or any other such contemptible activities. Day and night, you embody silent absorption in thoughts of Sri Krishna. You are a particularly illustrious and exceptional personality. Day and night, you are totally immersed in the ecstasy of service. Clutching only the instructions of your spiritual master to your head, you have continuously preached his teachings throughout the world. Kartik is foremost of the 4 holy months of Chaturmasya, and people obtained one point of devotion by observing Sri Urja Vrat. You make it a rule to always follow the vows of that period, and in the company of the devotees, you observe Niyam Sevā. During that time, you gracefully tour Bhagavan's divine abodes and many holy sites, performing pilgrimage in saintly company. With you roam countless great and exalted personalities, servants of your spiritual master, and bona fide representatives of the Lord, all of whom are saviors of fallen souls. On the order of your spiritual master, you preach the teachings of Sri Chaitanya, hearing which the souls of this world achieve deliverance. That sound, Sri Chaitanya's message, is the nectar of immortality and brings the dead back to life, even though death is always imminent. May my wretched mind incessantly venerate Sri Gurupad Padma and his devotees. The devotees of Sri Gaur Hari are dedicated to helping, upakar, others, para, and they are always thinking exclusively of what is beneficial for them. Para upakar. Para upakara lagu upakara nahi, jar marmit jiva guru, Krishna seva labhe. Para can also mean superior. The poet therefore says, the devotees do not offer trivial handouts, but a superior form of altruism, which enables conditioned souls to attain the service of Guru and Krishna. Out of overwhelming compassion, the merciful Mahaprabhu sincerely addressed his associates as follows. One who has taken birth in the holy land of India should give meaning to his life by working for the welfare of others. Para upakar. Since Sri Keśava Swāmī is the paragon of this instruction, I worship his lotus feet by body, mind, and words. And then, I'm not going to read now. I'm going to end this here, but you'll see that she writes, as a gesture of pure compassion, you've instituted a program to grant association with devotees 3 times a year, during Shri Gaur Purnima, Rath Yatra, and Kartik Vrat. When people remember the programs you organize during Kartik and other holy occasions, their hearts would not allow them to remain at home. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu presides over these pilgrimages in his deity form, along with Jagat Guru Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupāda. Seeing these 2 lords ensconced on a beautiful palanquin dispels the threefold sufferings of this realm. Putting Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga in the forefront, the devotees collect the nectar from their lotus feet. Each and every person's mouth resounds with proclamations of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga's glories, the sound of which inspires devotion even in avowed atheists. How sweet and appealing are the forms of Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga, accompanied by Srila Keśava Mahārāja and Sri Nrsimha Mahārāja. What a wondrous and captivating sight it was then. All glories to Sri Guru, Gauranga, and Radha Madhav. Thus, during the first year, you went on pilgrimage of Sri Vrajdam with the devotees throughout Mathura, Vrindavan, and all the major and minor forests, as well as Radhakund, Shamakund, and Govardhan Hill. We toured the whole abode of Sri Vraj, including Javat, Vashana, Sanket, Sri Nandagram, and Sri Gokul Mahavan. The whole pilgrimage party followed in our Guru's footsteps, and because your glory is truly boundless, you brought this wretch along. Oh, got it. All of this is so beautiful, I don't want to stop, but I also want to read something by my Gurudev, so I'm going to stop here. But yeah, if you have time, you can download this Kriti Ratna book, and you can read the rest of all these amazing pilgrimages that Param Gurudev took all the devotees on. It's long, but it's so beautiful. She brings you along with Param Gurudev. It's really awesome. Pilgrimage to Dwarka. See how long it is? It's unending. It's like longer than a Chaitanya Charitamrita chapter. It's like 2 Chaitanya Charitamrita chapters. Okay. Anyhow. The last verse, she says, my heart is delighted to hear that we will be going on pilgrimage to Rameshwaram this time. There are countless holy places on the way, and our purpose in touring will be to preach the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of all of the places to see in India, there is nowhere like Rameshwaram. Oh, brother, I know a person would have to be dull in the head to forego such an opportunity. Can you imagine going on one of these parikramas with Gurudev? All right, let's read. I'm going to read from the book Sri Prabandavali, The Disappearance Day of Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Maybe I should read a little something by Srila Trivikram Goswami. Oh, shoot. What did I do? Oops. Wait a second. I have opened that PDF. Where is it? I totally opened it. There it is. Sorry about this. It'd also be nice to read something about by Srila Trivikram Goswami Mahārāja. There's a really short thing by him. Maybe I'll just read that. Because Śrīla Bhakti Goswami Mahārāja is a bit long. But I'll just read this one because it's so short. Reminiscing a Drop of His Glories by Śrīmad Bhaktivedānta Trivikram Goswami Mahārāja. O Shri Gurudev, this fallen wretch is completely unqualified to extol your glories. Only those who by your causeless mercy have realized your exalted nature are worthy of singing of your splendor. Of this there is no doubt. Vaishnaver Gunagan Korile Jiveratan. Singing the glories of a Vaishnava is the cause of a living entity's salvation. Following this statement, this abominable person is boldly endeavoring to write something for his own purification. You taught those desiring their spiritual welfare through your own ideal behavior, and are thus known as Acharya, one who teaches by example. Just as Sri Krishna flew in the sky, holding on to whirlwind's demon Trinavarta, similarly, as a baby, you flew into the sky, carried by a falcon, thereby revealing your supramundane nature. Through your observance of strict celibacy from infancy, you claims that association of women is wholly inappropriate for persons on the path of spirituality. I deem the glorification of you coming from the mouth of one who is attached to associating with women as ill-behooved. At a very tender age, you abandon your virtuous and wealthy parents, and taking a solemn vow to completely fulfill your Sri Gurudev's inner heart's desire, you perfectly followed the statement, Ata Buddha Abhajitam Bhaktai Kaisham Gurudeva Tatma. Intelligent persons take shelter of Sri Gurudev, accepting him as their life and soul, and engage in exclusive devotion to Sri Krishna. Śrīmad Bhagavatam 1-37. Pleased with your expertise and competence, your Sri Gurudev adorned you with the title Kriti Ratna. After accepting sannyas, you traveled to all of the holy tirthas throughout India, tracing the steps of Sri Sri Gaur Nityananda. Your devoted followers celebrate you as being non-different from Sri Ramanujacharya's disciple Puresh, in risking your life for your Gurudev. The local administration at the time was afraid of you due to your fearlessness. Because of your extraordinary expertise in the philosophy expounded in the scriptures, you are known as Acharya Kesari, the lion-like preceptor. You are the founder of the illustrious Sri Gauḍīya-Vedanta Samiti. By your Gurudev's, Srila Prabhupada's causeless mercy, you preserved his standards in preaching and are thus the protector of our disciplic line. Your divine form resembles that of Srila Prabhupada. Your book, Mayavadir Jivani va Vaishna Vijay, fully destroyed and buried the doctrine of Shankar. It is no exaggeration to say this. You defended the truth and bound human propriety when you proclaimed before in a learned assembly that anyone who proclaims a follower of Devi to be God will surely suffer in hell. What the heck? Oh, okay. In service to Sri Guru, sorry, what's going on? In service to Sri Guru, you exchanged cloth with Srila Saraswati Thakur and have thus been celebrated as a sannyas disciple by your intimate followers. I am utterly unqualified to describe your unlimited virtues. Yet, by your causeless mercy, I am direct proof of the statement, Pango Langkaite Girim. The mercy of Sri Guru enables the lame to cross mountains. In the way the Ganga is worshipped with Ganga water, I am humbly submitting this glorification to you. Excerpt from Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava, year 42, issue 12. And Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava, she also writes a beautiful song about Prabhupada, but I'm going to skip that because it's getting late. And I should probably go for a kirtan temple right now. But yeah, this is beautiful. Kirtan, 18 verses. And then this article is beautiful. A collection of flowers, speciality of shankaracharya mercy. This is an article by my Srila Gurudev. It's so beautiful. But I'm going to skip this as well and just read from Sri Prabhupada. Let me close this. One second. How come it's not letting me take this call? This is so bizarre, it's not letting me take the call. Okay. My phone is freaking out. Everything's going wrong. Let me just send them a quick voice message because it's Kishore and Jayashree. They're wondering what's happening right now. 1 second. Hari Bol, Kishore. Right now there's kirtan going on in the temple room, and I'm doing a live reading right now. So yeah, you can tell Jayashree also. She was just trying to call. For some reason it wasn't letting me take her call. Okay, sorry about that. Let's continue. It's page 19 if I remember correctly. Here. There it is. Disappearance Day of Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja. Hey Jai, I'm in the middle of a live reading right now, but just letting you know that they're doing kirtan in the temple right now for Pramoda. So, yeah. Well, they're doing kirtan, so yeah, normal. They're doing kirtan right now, and I don't know what's happening after that. But I'm in the middle of a live reading on Facebook. Okay. Pretty good. But yeah, come. Okay. Sorry about that. The Disappearance Day of Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī. Is the video still going? I had to disconnect. Okay, it looks like it's still going. Good. Okay. So let's do. Okay, I'm not going to be able to see your comments while I read this because I had to close my second screen. The Disappearance Day of Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja from Sri Prabhupada. This is from a class from my Gurudev. Our Guru Maharaj appeared in a family of landowners in the famous village of Banaripada in the district of Jeshwar in East Bengal. When he was born, his body was very soft and beautiful, and because he had a golden complexion, his mother and all the local ladies gave him the nickname Jonah, meaning glowworm. His actual name was Bhima. For approximately 3 or 4 months, he didn't speak or cry at all, and his family was very worried. Then, one day, a Muslim mendicant who came to their home begging said to Gurudev's mother, "Your son is not speaking?" She replied, "How did you know that? If you can, please make him speak somehow." The mendicant replied, "Do one thing. In the village, there are some untouchables, persons from the Shudra class who work in the cremation grounds. They eat low-grade rice that is left soaking overnight, panta. Beg some of this rice from them and feed it to your child, and then he will speak." Guru Maharaj's mother was a very hard-working lady who mostly looked after their land. She would discipline her children very strictly, and they would never go anywhere without her permission. Everyone respected her. When she approached one of these Sudra families and asked for some of this rice, they said, "How can you take this? It has been touched by us." She replied, "Don't worry, just give me some of it." Obtaining some of this rice, she took it back to her home and put it before the child. And at once he started crying, "Ma, ma," and began speaking from that point on. In his boyhood, our Gurudev was very close to his father, who was especially affectionate towards him. At that time, the people of East Bengal were very religious, and there would always be readings from Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad Bhagavatam going on. Then the partition came, and it was as if the very heart of Bengal was torn out. From very early childhood, Gurudev would grab his father's finger and accompany him to the religious programs, and if it was dark, he would sit on his father's shoulders. Thus, religious philosophy became his interest. There's a Hindi proverb, "Honhar virvan ke hota chikane pata," which means, when a sapling will grow to be fruitful, its leaves will be very big and beautiful. Coming events cast their shadows, and from his childhood, the symptoms were there that he would become a great personality. As he grew up, he spent most of his time in the company of a great Mahatma who had an ashram in the village. There he would hear readings from the Gita, Bhagavatam, and Vedanta. When he was at school, at a very young age, he started his own magazine, and its language was very literary. He was also an excellent speaker, and when he would speak in a large assembly, there would be no need of a loudspeaker. He didn't know as many shlokas as some devotees, but he would give such beautiful explanations. There is one verse from Śrīmad Bhagavatam 1-11, of which he would give an especially beautiful explanation. Vadanti tat tattva vidas tattam yaj jnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabdate. The Paratattva is Bhagavat Tattva. From Brahma there is Parabrahma, and from Atma there is Paramatma, and from Vishnu there is Mahavishnu. But for Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, there is no necessity of the words Param Swayam Bhagavan. Yeah, you don't say Param Swayam Bhagavan, it's just Swayam Bhagavan, because Krishna is the supreme tattva, and Brahma and Paramatma are his reflection and plenary portion respectively. Brahma cannot actually be called an object, because any object must necessarily have qualities. Brahma is the potency of an object, and can be said to be the shelter of an object. But Brahma itself is not an object. The names Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan are synonymous, but Bhagavan is to be worshipped, not Brahma, because Brahma is formless. When I first joined the Mod, I received such special mercy from Bhagavan that I had the opportunity to accompany our Gurudev to many big programs where he would speak, and he always kept me with him. He gave my senior godbrother Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Mahārāja the responsibility for printing, and, being a very qualified man, he has since printed many books and magazines, one after the other. In order to help with the magazine and cooking, and to look after many services, Guruji would keep me with him. His style of speaking and writing was wonderful, and it was my great fortune to hear so much from him. I always took notes and stayed with him like his shadow. Brahman Maharaj just as now, was very quiet and didn't speak much. But my dear godbrother Trivikram Maharaj and myself were very talkative. We were always engaged in debating about this and that. And when Guruji would become tired of us, he would say, "Take this book, the answer is there." These days, devotees don't discuss topics of tattva much. Instead, they speak about the type of clothing they wear and what kind of food they eat. When two Vaishnavas meet, they should discuss tattva. And it was our great fortune to hear talks on bhakti tattva from very learned devotees. But these days, hardly anyone takes the time to discuss the meaning of the scriptures. Guruji was so intelligent and had so much potency in speaking that he could change yes to no and no to yes. It was amazing. Without such devotees, preaching simply would not go on. If one of us wants to write and publish something, we have to look in many, many books and do so much editing, and even if 5 of us are working together, we may still have difficulty writing something. But what would Guru Maharaj do? At the annual Navadvip Parikrama, 5,000 to 7,000 devotees would come to offer pranam to him, and he would speak with many of them. Somehow, in the midst of all this commotion, he would simultaneously dictate an article for his magazine to Vaman Maharaj. There would not even be any necessity to check it. At once, it was ready to go to press. It was amazing how he would never have to look in any book. When one of us is preparing to speak something, we first have to look in so many books. And when we listen to someone speak, or when we read something, we have to take notes in order to retain it. But Guru Maharaj, in his whole life, never took any notes. He read so many books. His library here is in the Mat in Mathura. But he never took any notes. Oh, by the way, this library is now available on purebhakti.com. We posted like 400 and something books of Param Gurudevs and my Gurudevs. Anyhow, and he knew so much history. No Acharya knew more history than him. Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Prabhupāda called him a Vedantic Pandit. Guru Maharaj went from East Bengal to study at a very old and famous college near Kolkata. Many great scholars studied there, and admission was not granted to everyone. But due to his superior intelligence, he was awarded admission. And his very first year, the dean and professors would call him to read Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita to them. Chaitanya Charitamrita was composed in Bengali, but there is no Sanskrit book that can match its highly poetic philosophical knowledge. Jiver Swarup hoy Krishnera Nityadas, Krishnera Tatashta Shakti, Bhed Abhed Prakash. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 2108. The inherent form of the jiva is that of an eternal servant of Krishna. The jiva is the marginal potency of Krishna and is therefore simultaneously one with and different from him. The dean and professors were unable to explain this verse. Even in our sampradaya, you'll find very few devotees who can properly explain it. So our Gurudev would have philosophical discussions with him, and in the end, he left that college saying, "Even the professors here understand nothing, so what will they teach me?" At that time, Gandhi had started his movement to oppose the British government, saying, "The English must leave India. They will not impose the salt tax." All over India, the people revolted against the British. So many big names like Bala Gangadhara Tilak, Gorakhle, C.R. Das, P.C. Rai, and Lal Lajpat Rai joined the opposition movement. It was as if the blood of India's youth was boiling, and at once all of India's industry stopped. Then the English thought, Gandhi has so much influence? Our Gurudev joined as well, but when Gandhi withdrew his movement due to violence, Guruji, along with many others, joined the revolutionary party of Subhash Chandra Bose. Taking a knife and a rifle, he remained hidden within the forests and jungles for some time. At that time, the British government issued a warrant for his arrest. He later joined the Gauḍīya mission, and then 10 years afterwards, the British government finally came to know of his whereabouts. One day, some agents came to Mayapur with a warrant for Guruji's arrest, and they approached Prabhupada about it. Prabhupada told them, "But look how he's completely changed. He has become a sadhu, a mahatma." After discussing the matter with Prabhupada and considering further, they withdrew the warrant. Guruji was a champion footballer, and he was proficient in all subjects. He was an all-arounder. He's proficient in sports, in studying, in fighting, in managing people, and in speaking sweetly. At the age of only 16, he was managing all the tenants on his father's land. He first came to the Chaitanya Mat in Mayapur, and at that age, he first came to the Chaitanya Mat in Mayapur at that age, the age of 16, I guess, and desired to receive Harinam and Diksha from Prabhupada. For some time, he returned to his home and went to college. But at the age of 18, he returned to the Mat with his aunt. She was a very scholarly lady, and together they would compose very beautiful poems and essays. Once, when they were conversing in Mayapur, Prabhupada said, "We will go on parikrama of the entire planet and establish one Mat after the other. In England, America, and all of the holy places of India, such as Haridwar and Prayag, Vrindavan, Kashi, and South India, preaching will go on." Then Guruji's aunt said, "You are seeing a very big dream." This is Sarojavāsinī-devī, right? Yeah. "You are seeing a very big dream. You are like the poor man who has begged a torn bag from someone, placed it under his head, and fell asleep. While sleeping, he dreamed, 'Oh, I am a millionaire. I am an emperor. Who will see to all of this?' Prabhupada replied, 'Vinod will see to it.'" Vinod will see to it. After this, Guru Maharaj began staying in the Mat and did not return to his home again. He had all of the symptoms of a great personality on his body. His form was softer than butter. His arms extended down to his knees, and all auspicious signs were on his hands. He had artist's fingers, very thin and long. In the morning, he would eat just a little simple rice with some salt, and then go out to work hard collecting donations for the Mat all day. He would collect 1 paisa from each person rather than taking a large amount from anyone. He would go to places where there were large crowds, such as the bus and train stations, speak about Mahaprabhu's doctrine to people, and take just 1 paisa from each person. He would keep this money locked up in a box that had a slot on the top for the coins, and the key was left with Prabhupada. He would do this every day until sunset without even eating anything else. One time, Prabhupada was being driven along in his car in Kolkata, and he saw Vinod resting under a tree with that money box placed under his head as a pillow. Tears came to his eyes, and he said, "Such a beautiful young boy from a wealthy family, only 18 years old, and for me, for the service of Bhagavan, he has left his parents and is undergoing such hardships?" When Gurudev returned to the Mat that night, Prabhupada called him and said, "Vinod, you are sleeping on the grounds at Gauḍīya-patrikā? You are undergoing so much hardship." Guruji replied, "No, this hardship is a matter of great happiness, if only you will be satisfied with me. This is my everything. What more could I desire? If the Guru is pleased, then Bhagavan is pleased. There is nothing greater than this." Prabhupada would call my Guru Tu or Tui. And there are 3 ways of addressing people. There's the respectful way, Apni, and then there's the more familiar way, Tumi, and then there's like the very intimate way, Tui, which only like husband and wife say to each other, or how you'd also talk to little kids. But yeah, Prabhupada would call, so that was like the extreme intimate way of calling somebody. Prabhupada would call Guruji Tu or Tui. There was only one other disciple for whom Prabhupada used this affectionate name, and that was Paramananda Prabhu, who was always with Prabhupada. Because also Śrīla Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he would refer to everybody as Apni, never even as Tumi, but as Apni. But to Param Gurudev, he referred to as Tui, like the very intimate one. So Guruji was very intimate with Prabhupada and would sleep only near him. Even if he went to take rest at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, he would knock on the door to Prabhupada's room. The other devotees would complain, but Prabhupada would always get up and open the door for him. Once Guru Maharaj was out collecting with Siddha Swarup Brahmachari, who later became Śrīla Bhakti Siddhanta Gosvāmī Mahārāja. They had collected one large bag completely full with vegetables and another half full. They got off the train at Howrah station, which is about 5 miles from the Mod. There was no public transportation which covered the entire distance at that time, and there was no money available in the Mod for taking a rickshaw. Gurudev lifted up the full bag and said, "Let's go." But Siddhanta Maharaj said, "No, you are my elder brother and my Shiksha Guru. Therefore, I will take the full bag." Guruji replied, "No, you are a small boy, my younger brother. I will take it." Snatching it back and forth from one another, finally Guruji convinced Siddhanta Maharaj, and they carried the weight all the way back to the Mod. This is how he did Guru Seva. Whenever any necessity arose, Prabhupada would say, "Where is Vinod?" After Guru Maharaj's father passed away, his mother was crying for her son Vinod day and night, even though she had 3 other sons in the house. One was a high school headmaster who later also became Prabhupada's disciple and the Acharya of the Gauḍīya mission, Sri Odolomi Maharaj. He was fluent in English and was a very talented speaker and writer. Vinod was the youngest of the brothers. His mother sent a letter to Prabhupada saying, "Please send Vinod for some time to attend to some work here on our lands, and when it is completed, he will return to you." There were some Muslim tenants who had refused to pay their rent for about 5 years, so Prabhupada sent him there. Amongst the tenants, there was one Gunda, a hooligan, who was a very large man and the worst of them all. Guruji ordered one of his family hired workers to apprehend this man and bring him to the house. The man was beaten 3 or 4 times, and after this, all the tenants began paying their rent. On Prabhupada's land in Mayapur also, there were Muslims who were not paying their rent. Prabhupada was thinking to sell the land, but Guruji pleaded with him to allow him to try and procure the rent money from these people. Prabhupada said, "What will you do? You are only a boy of 18 years. Eventually, Prabhupada agreed, and Guruji had the ringleader apprehended, tied to a jackfruit tree, and beaten. Immediately, all the tenants there became frightened and began paying their rent, and Guruji offered that money as pushpanjali at the feet of Prabhupada. But Guruji would care for those persons whom he respected more than he would for his own life. Everyone respected him like a father. Can you imagine an 18-year-old being that powerful, like a big dangerous hooligan, and having him beaten, and then all these Muslim tenants? And yeah, it's just amazing. He was definitely like a lion. Acharya Kesari. At the end of her life, Guru Maharaj's mother sent another letter to Prabhupada saying, "Please send my dear son Vinod home for a little while." He called Vinod and told him, "Your mother is dying. You must go to her immediately." Instead of going, Guruji went and hid somewhere in the Mod for the whole day and night. When Prabhupada came to know of it, he sent for Guruji and told him, "Your mother is very ill. You should go to her. I instructed you to go. Why haven't you gone?" Guru Maharaj replied, "Prabhu, after so many births, I have attained the shelter of your feet. By your mercy, I have finally come to Bhagavad Bhakti after so many births. Suppose I go to my mother, and while she is taking her last breath, she places her hand on my head and says to me, 'I am going now. Who will look after our property? You must do it.' What will I do then? Having left your lotus feet, I will again be trapped in Maya." Falling at Prabhupada's feet, he began crying, and Prabhupada bestowed plentiful blessings upon him. Until one's determination is like this, he does not have the qualification to leave his home and family. One must have the understanding of a Madhyam Adhikari that the bodily relations of this material world are meaningless. Otherwise, even without being requested, one will automatically return to his home and family. If he does continue to stay in the mud, it will only be for procuring money, women, and prestige. He will have only gone in a circle and will end up back where he started. Therefore, one cannot leave his home and family until he has this qualification. There was a disciple of Prabhupada named Ram Govinda Vidyaratna, who was a scholar of Vedanta, the Bhagavatam, and all the scriptures. He was a very good devotee and later became Nemi Maharaj. Once he desired to have darshan of Prabhupada's guru, Srila Gaura-Kishora Babaji Maharaj, and Guruji also wanted to go. So taking Prabhupada's permission, they went. At that time, to avoid the trouble that ordinary people were giving him, Babaji Maharaj had locked himself in a latrine for about a week and was just chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. The news reached the district magistrate and the police superintendent, and at once they all came running there. Seeing that the door was locked from the inside, they approached with folded hands and said, Babaji Maharaj, we will construct you a very nice hut for bhajan. He replied, No, this is very nice. Why? Because the stench of the lust of materialistic people does not come here. I prefer the stench of stool to that. All right, Maharaj, we will supply you with one boy to keep those people away from you. Day and night they were trying to persuade him to come out, but he would only say, For me, this is Vaikuntha. So many times they asked him to please open the door, but time and again he would reply, I am not well, I am unable to do it. He would not open the door for those people, and he just continued chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Then Guruji approached the door and said, Babaji Maharaj, we are the disciples of Bhaktivedānta Saraswati. Hearing the name of Prabhupada, Babaji Maharaj at once stood up. Opening the door, he let them in and again locked the door. The two boys offered pranam and, grasping the feet of Babaji Maharaj, Guruji said, Please give us your blessings. Babaji Maharaj told him, I will take all of your hardships and impediments away, so you can always perform bhajan freely. This is my blessing. Later on, Guruji would say on many occasions that though difficulties may have come to him from time to time, by the mercy of Babaji Maharaj, nothing could ever disturb him. Wow. That was so beautiful, reading all those things. There's so much more to read about Param Gurudev also, and we didn't read anything written by him. His articles are my favorite, actually. Out of all, in every issue of Raise of the Harmonists, we publish an art. His articles are always my favorite ones. But I'm missing the whole the program in the temple, so I'm going to stop now. But thank you so much for reading with me, for joining me in this, and I don't know if I'll get time to read more. Maybe. If I get more time, then I will read some articles by my Param Gurudev. So, Jai Shishi Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shishi Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai. Shri Govinda Gopinath Madan Mohan Ju Ki Jai. Nikhil Pavishto Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Gurudeva Ki Jai. Nikhil Pavishto Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Vaman Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Nikhil Pavishto Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Trivikram Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Nikhil Pavishto Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Swāmī Mahārāja Śrīla Prabhupāda Ki Jai. Nikhil Pavishto Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhakti Prajñāna Keśava Gosvāmī Mahārāja Ki Jai. Śrīla Param Gurudeva Ki Jai. Tadiya Shubha Vyas Puja Maha Mahotsava Ki Jai. Nikhil Pavishto Vishnupad Ashtatarashata Śrīmad Śrīla Bhaktivedānta Saraswati Gosvāmī Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nikhil Pavishta Maha Bhagavat Śrīla Gaura-Kishora Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Nikhil Pavishta Srila Satchidananda Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Nityal Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki jai, Shri Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Shri Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dashagunath Sharda Gosai Prabhu ki jai, Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai, Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Kshetra Mandala Gaura Mandala Braja Mandala Mathura Vrindavan Tham ki jai, Sarva Abhishtabharata Giriraj Maharaja ki jai, Shri Radha Kunda Shama Kund ki jai, Shri Mona Devi Ganga Devi ki jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai, Shri Bhakti Devi ki jai, Shri Purnamasi Yogamaya ki jai, Shri Gopeshwar Mahadev ki jai, Shri Devananda Gauriya Mat ki jai, Aur Ananya Shakamat Sumuha ki jai, Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishna Vrinda ki jai, Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Wo Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keśava Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyai Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams. Hari Bo. They're doing arti right now. Oh my god, got her in. Okay, Hari Bo.